Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now July 19th of 2025, and given that the Meghan Markle drama is still going on to this very day, in the midst of reshoots for With Love Meghan Season 2, we know that CEOs Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos, along with the many executives over there, they are in constant, of course, panic mode over this actual Part 2 of Season 1 is what I like to call it, because let's face it, that's exactly what it really is when you boil everything down. But what's interesting here has a lot more to do with the whole Meghan Markle situation, how she keeps going on into damage control mode and really saying some of the worst things out there, things that are even worse than the pregnancy video itself. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle is that we already know that yes, at the same exact time, she is trying to really recover from the past ratings disaster that was Season 1 Part 1 back in March, and this one is expected to be an even worse scenario based on all the failed test screenings, based on, of course, all of the issues between herself and the Netflix higher-ups, and it's only getting worse the more time she opens her mouth toward the general public. However, on top of everything here, we all know that Meghan Markle is trying to actually latch on to any opportunity that she can to stay within the film industry, to stay within Hollywood as a so-called actress, to remain relevant as far as she sees it, right? So this is where it really begins to pick up and gets interesting, is that we already know that Netflix, they are trying to double down on things like With Love Meghan Season 2 and among other programs like that. Now, with the Meghan Markle drama and backlash only growing ever since her pregnancy video went viral and went on several rants and tirades ever since, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle going on yet another long-winded argument and how it already is beginning to backfire on Netflix. Well, you see, she says, the great thing that I find about diversity, equity, and inclusion is that it enhances the story, and it should be something valued over the entire story writing process, whether you're a filmmaker or whatever. But as a woman, what I think offends me so much when you take a closer look at cinema and just really examine what's going on in this country right now is that these people now outright reject diversity, and in many cases this has a lot to do with sexists and misogynists. It's almost every single time I find that someone does not approve of diversity, they are indeed a sexist and or a misogynist. There is this growing issue with toxic masculinity toward the industry that just needs to stop. This is acting like a virus and it's spreading fast. But the bigger problem at large here that we are dealing with right now in 2025 is that we have a lot of women that are being told what to do by men on how to parent their children. And there are tons of women that just don't know how to be independent in the United States. There just isn't enough independence coming from women. So I think what they have to do is to express themselves more to show the men who they really are. It was one of the reasons why I had to create that dance-off I did when I was pregnant 4 years ago, and it felt so good as a woman to express myself in that matter. I have seen the criticism saying that what I did was unethical and or wrong, and those types of people saying that are just uneducated. They don't know what it means to be a woman, or if you are a man, to be with a woman. That's what I like to call false critics coming from social media and the entire social media landscape. If I had to give any advice to any mothers out there, it would be to do what I did with expressing myself the way that I did. People mock it because they are soulless. They just don't have a soul, they don't have a sense of humor, and they don't understand the meaning to have a sense of humor. Now guys, let me just stop here for one moment. Now, obviously, Meghan Markle is just serving us another good bowl of word salad, right? I mean, that's basically what she's doing again here, but what she's saying is that in order for women to be independent, you have to express yourself in Meghan Markle's way. And what she means by in her way, she means by doing some of the most outlandish things possible, like her pregnancy video that we all saw. And there's a reason why people outright reject something like that. That's exactly why it was mocked on not just social media, but also in the mainstream media. I mean, this thing was in the news across the board for several days. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that not only was it very cringy, it was so out of place, it was something that you would not do even if you are pregnant in that stage. You would never actually imagine somebody doing that, especially on camera, especially using that opportunity to gain attention is even worse. But again, like I've said before, this is Meghan Markle. She's a narcissist. Insufferable is the general term I like to use. However, she goes on to actually allude further. I think my video proved that, because when you really express yourself in this country, it's something that you should be able to do with full expectations to gain respect in return. That's what I expect, and that's what every woman should expect. Respect doesn't always have to be just earned. It should be automatically given to those that contribute well to society and to make people laugh and have a good time. So to all the women out there, and even the men, if you want to express yourself like I did, I urge you to. I insist. Now again, there she goes again, trying to say that what she did is the answer to becoming independent, right? And she's trying to lecture women. She's trying to lecture, of course, a lot of mothers out there on how to parent their children, how to express themselves, how to gain a sense of humor, and how you don't actually earn respect just because. She actually expects respect just because she's actually making people laugh and contributing to society in that way. So that just goes to show you again here that Meghan Markle, alright, is not only getting worse by the week, but it's also, of course, all related to the fact that I think that she knows what's coming. There have been a lot of issues between herself, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris. We talked about that, about how there's been a lot of drama going on there with their cameo appearances, and there's a lot more to talk about. We'll actually be filling you in on that very, very soon. However, she goes on to end, because it will change your life, it will make your entire life better as a person, and it will bring in an entire new experience, so I welcome it. I ask all of you to grab a camera and do something of value in your life to put a smile on someone's face. So, that's not only just cringeworthy the way that she said that, but it's also the fact that she's trying to project herself onto the general public. She's trying to actually make people do what she does, and is trying to make that the answer to becoming independent, or to actually quote-unquote gain respect, right? And again, I mean, there's a reason why the pregnancy video went viral and why it's not seemingly going away at this point. If anything, it's just as bad. It's almost on the same exact level of the cheating CEO viral video. It's right up there with that when it comes to how fast it actually spread throughout social media and how it's consistently staying on social media and really getting talked about. And that's exactly what's going on. So again, I mean, like I've said before, we know that Meghan Markle is desperately trying to piece together With Love Meghan Part 2, Season 2, whatever you want to say. And that's actually going through a lot of setbacks. They're having a lot of problems with that. They're holding on to a lot of issues related to that thing. And we'll have a lot more to talk about the reshoots, because there's a lot of cutbacks going on right now. There's a lot of funds that are going elsewhere for Netflix, and it's really contributing to an entire domino effect that was created by, Ted Sarandos, who gave the show the okay right from the go-ahead. And look, we all know that Ted Sarandos, I think he's one of the worst CEOs out there. He doesn't really, actually contribute to anything beneficial on Netflix now in 2025. Ever since, focusing so much on Meghan Markle, and it backfired on him, and how he tried to take it back. He tried to backtrack multiple times. But again, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Meghan Markle's stance on things here. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.